Welcome back. Before we get started, I guess it's really important to make sure that you've got all the right supplies so that way you don't get in the middle of a section of the workshop and wind up having to stop and go drive down to Office Max or whatever and get more supplies. So let's talk about the supplies that you need. First, above everything else, you need index cards. These are standard 3x5 white index cards, nothing too special. Usually most people would use more than 200 of these because some of them are going to get trashed as we go along. And so if you could go out and buy maybe 500 of these index cards, if you don't have them, that would be great before you get started. The second thing that you need is different color pens. You need a red pen, a black pen, and a blue pen. That's all you need. Red, black, and blue. One highlighter. Yellow preferably, but whichever color you prefer will be fine because we only use one color of highlighter. And then we also need a whole bunch of paper clips because as the workshop goes on, there are situations where we take 2 or 3 of these index cards and actually use the paper clip to attach them together. Staples won't do because we actually take them apart, put them back together depending on the sections, so therefore a nice little box of paper clips would be great. And then finally, a couple of optional items really, but I kind of like these bigger binder clips as well, so you can keep sections of cards together. So if you bought 10 or 20 of these little binder clips, that'd be great. Don't really need these for sure, but if you get them, that'd be wonderful. And then I actually have these little bank deposit size bags too. So if I'm actually working on goals and I'm not at my home desk, maybe I'm working at Starbucks or whatever, it's pretty easy to stay organized by having a couple of different colored bags, so that way one can be the one you're working on right now and the other one can be the one that's going to be the cue for later. So I'm going to go ahead and pause the video here. So if you've got all your supplies, go ahead and click on the next section. If you don't, then please go get the supplies that you need, and then we'll go on to the first section of the workshop. There is one more thing I wanted to mention as you're gathering your supplies. I'm a firm believer that great ideas are worth their weight in gold or even more. Albert Einstein probably said it best when he said that imagination is far more important than knowledge. During this workshop, I will guarantee you that you will generate hundreds and hundreds of fresh ideas that you haven't thought about before or maybe forgot somewhere in your past. If you don't take a note when one of those little sparks of an idea comes to your mind, you will forget most of them. So I suggest going out while you're gathering supplies and picking up a little notebook like this one or this one to keep your ideas as they come to you written down. There is extraordinary power to pale ink. Pale ink is better than the best memory in the world. When you write it down, it isn't going to be forgotten. Putting it in the notebook, reviewing it later, thinking about it more, matters a lot. I believe that the process of writing on a piece of paper actually causes more logical thinking. You think about things differently when you think about them just in your mind versus in your mind and then on paper. So capturing your ideas, not only during this workshop, but also throughout all your days is incredibly important. As you get older, that experience, all those ideas that you've had over the years tend to grow exponentially. And you're able to put and assimilate different things together until all of a sudden extraordinary new value is created. So above everything else, please pick up an idea notebook. Use it whenever anything happens in this workshop to jot down your ideas, but then also carry that same idea notebook with you every single day. Keep it in your car. Take it with you in your pocket. That's why I kind of like the small one. But at the end of the day, have your idea notebook with you and you will be far better off. So I want to make one additional suggestion that once you put ideas in your notebook, go ahead and take the time to also make a second copy that's electronic. Electronic media obviously allows us to index and search far more efficiently than you can with paper. But we of course are not too worried about the bugs being worked out of paper. That technology is over 5,000 years old. I personally would suggest that you create yourself a new Gmail account on Google. Google is clearly one of the survivors of the internet age, and I suspect they're going to be around for a very long time. If you create yourself an account that is just for your ideas, so let's say your name is Joe Smith, you could create Joe Smith and your zip code and the word ideas, gmail.com. Pretty easy to remember. No one else is going to send you spam there. And then whenever you have an idea, jot it down in the notebook, but then also later or at that moment, send it to your Gmail account for safe storage. You'll have a backup copy in case the journal ever gets lost. And you'll also have a copy that is searchable, that you can put tags on by topic. It'll be a permanent idea vault for you that is free and out there in the cloud in Google. So while you're gathering your supplies, please also grab the idea journal. It'll be well worth your time and effort. All right, I guess that's it. Here is the paused next section.